Hello and welcome to Massive Career. Yesterday we took a look at the core rules for Into the Dark. If you want to go and check out that video, I'll link it at the end of this one. Tomorrow we are going to take a look at the Farstalker Kinban for the crew, but today it's the Imperial Navy breaches as seen on Warhammer TV. So without any further ado, away we go! I've organised all the information from the bat rep into the specific operatives, tac ops, ploys and equipment. So let's start things off by looking at the operatives. The first being the Sergeant at Arms, who is the leader. No surprise there, but it wasn't specifically stated, but from what I can gather, all operatives have APL2 and GA1. Nor was it specified how many wounds each operative has, apart from one, but what can you do? The Sergeant is equipped with a fancy heirloom auto pistol, but it wasn't used, so no idea what it does. He also has a chainsword with Ceaseless, 4 attacks on a 3-up with 4/5 damage. And a unique ability called Command Breach, which allows him to select an order to use for free throughout the battle. More on that later. And the Breach and Clear action, which I think the whole team has, but again, more on that later. Next is the Surveyor and Beloved Cat, equipped with a shotgun and 4 attacks hitting on 3s with 3/3 damage, range red, but also a long range profile for 4 attacks hitting on 5s with 1/2 damage, which seems to be the standard sort of weapon for the team. We have a unique action here called Wayfind, which gives +1 APL to a friendly operative within red of the Surveyor or Cat, which seems better than the Vet Guard comms ability because of the potential range. The Cat has a unique ability allowing a free dash in the scouting step after selection has been resolved, and a unique action called Surveillance, which never got the chance to shine because the Cat got fragged early on. No 9 lives here. Now we have the Axe Jack. I think that's what he's called, and the only thing we know about him is that indeed he does have a power axe. Again, he got fragged pretty early on, so we didn't get to see what he could do. Next is the Grenadier, equipped with a Navis shotgun, and I can only confirm a crack grenade because that's all that was used in the battle, but I think it's safe to say he also carries a frag. It was also mentioned that he carries explosives to breach the bulkheads and that several of the team have blast weapons, so perhaps he has something like the diabolical bomb like in the Blooded Kill team, so maybe a breaching charge or something like that. Only time will tell. Now we have the Void Jammer, armed with a shotgun, but that's not what makes him interesting. It's his super sweet abilities and actions that make him interesting, like Interference, which allows the jammer to set a pulse from the Guy Skull, which subtracts an APL from an enemy operative on a 3-up or a 2-up if the enemy operative is in the line of sight of the Guy Skull. The jammer can also detonate the Guy Skull, which is a shooting attack of 4 attacks, 2/3 damage, and lethal X with a range of circle, but be careful, because it will hit friendlies if they are in range. Now we're on the Guy Skull itself. We only have one action for it here, which makes me think it's just 1 APL. The jammer is the one who essentially owns the actions for it. Apart from boost for 1 AP, the Guy Skull can move within triangle to any part of the map as long as it is visible to it. The Guy Skull moves in a straight line, and if it is not the first turn. Now, I think it's a good time to mention the Breach and Clear ability. Essentially, what it does is once per turning point is allow 2 operatives to become GA2 if they are within square of each other. And I have an example of this in use from the battle report. So the Guy Skull activates first and moves in an unlimited straight line using boost for 1 AP. The Void Jammer then activates, uses Interference Pulse for 1 AP, which deducts an APL from the crew leader and then uses Detonate by making a shoot action to explode the Guy Skull, which nearly kills the leader. Which I thought was sick as tits, and judging from attack up, which we'll see later, I believe this ability is available to the whole team. Next is the Hatchcutter, who's armed with a chain fist, which I could only work out had 4 attacks because he murked a crew so efficiently they didn't show the damage. He was also equipped with an auto pistol hitting on 4s with 2/3 damage, so perhaps the leader's auto pistol is the same but with an extra damage characteristic or special rule or something. He also has a unique action, Breach Point, For 1 AP, he creates a sort of doorway between terrain that is no more than a triangle thick. Next is the Endurance, which doesn't seem right because it sounds like a spaceship or something, but I can't really confirm what his shotgun is because it wasn't used, but he has a shield, and I can't really confirm what that does either because it wasn't really used as set in melee, which did 3 attacks, hitting on 4s. Not sure about the damage. It was said at the start of the bat rep that he had 11 wounds, so he's pretty tanky, but I think that might be because of some stim equipment, which we'll see later, so perhaps 10 normally. He's got 2-up save. Abilities and unique actions. It was said that he can shield friendly operatives, but I'm just not sure how because it didn't come up. Now we have the heavy gunner, and he has a Navis las volley with Relentless, with 6 attacks, hitting on 4s, 3/4 damage. So yeah, pretty tidy. And lastly, there were 2 Navis Armsmen, and they were armed with Navis shotguns and some kind of close combat Navis hatchet, which was hitting on 4s, but that's all I really got, and no real sort of like unique actions or abilities, but these are like the GA2 grunts. Now, onto the Ploys, which are all 1 CP, and it's worth mentioning that the Sergeant at Arms used his ability Command Breach to make the attack order 0 CP for the game. So the attack order, which is the first of 2 strategic ploys, enables you to place a token anywhere in the kill zone. Operatives within square of it can re-roll dice of any single number, for example all 2s. You can only play 1 strategic ploy at any one time. The defense order was the second strategic ploy, which is the same, but operatives that are within square can re-roll defense dice of any single number, again, e.g. all 2s. Now onto what I believe are the tactical ploys. They didn't make it so obvious which is which in the bat rep, but first is Lock It Down. So used when activating an operative, you can treat that operative as +1 APL when determining control of one chosen objective. Next is Closest Up, placed on a friendly operative to enable other friendly operatives within square when making a shooting or melee attack to retain a failed hit as a successful hit if they have already rolled 2 hits. Lastly, Brace for counter-attack. Until the end of the turning point, each time an enemy operative fights in combat or makes a shooting attack against a friendly Imperial Navy breacher operative that has not performed a charge, fallback or normal move action during this turning point, subtract 1 from both damage characteristics of weapons that enemy operative is equipped with for that combat or shooting attack to a minimum of 2. Next, on to the faction specific tac ops. First is Storm Target. Your opponent selects an objective marker that will not be permanently removed from the kill zone. At the end of the turning point, if friendly operatives are controlling that marker, you score 1 VP. At the end of the battle, if friendly operatives are controlling that objective marker, you score 1 VP. So this one seems pretty cool. Quite like this one. The second is Into the Breach, which is revealed on the 4th turning point. If 1 or more friendly Imperial Navy breachers, excluding Navis Skull and Navis Cat units, are within red of your opponent's kill zone edge, you score 1 VP. If 2 or more friendly Imperial Navy breacher operatives, excluding Geist Skull, and Navis Cat unit operatives, you score another VP. Lastly, we have Counteract. This is what makes me think that Breach and Clear will be available for the whole team. So let's have a look at it. So if you use Breach and Clear ability, and during that group activation, one friendly operative incapacitates an enemy operative, and the other friendly operative incapacitates an enemy operative or controls an objective marker at the end of that group activation that friendly operatives did not control at the start of it, you score 1 VP. Okay. If you achieve the first condition in any subsequent turning points, you score 1 VP. So I haven't played the game, so I can't really say what will be the most effective tac ops to take, but I really like the sound of Storm Target and Counteract. I'm not too keen on Into the Breach because it's just taking the guys away from the action, but Storm Target and Counteract are putting the guys in the middle of the action, so I quite like those. And finally, we are on to the equipment. Only 2 types were taken in the game, so 8 times stims, which gives operative 1 extra wound and a system override, just a single one of those, which allows you to open a hatchway or door in the scouting step. These seem okay, but I bet there's some other juicy ones they aren't showing us quite yet. So there we have it. I've tried to condense the video as much as possible to make it as short as possible, and I don't know, I've saved the crew till the last video, because they're my favourites, just from aesthetics, but the more I uncovered about the breaches, the more I enjoyed them, and I think they're absolute quality now. I really like them. But I'd love to know what you think about this team in the comments down below. Do you like them? Do you hate them? How do you think they'll work in the battlefield and into the dark as well? I'd love to know your thoughts and comments. But thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, may you always create masses.